Welcome to the Morning Report, a production of FightBackMedia.com, the #1 source of urban conservative information in America.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Morning Report. My name is Willie Lawson. The Morning Report is a production of FightBackMedia.com, 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 and FightBackMediaTV.com. Plus that you are well today. I hate to start the week like this, but I think it's necessary sometimes as a reminder. You know, I have been critical of people like Sean Hannity for sort of repeating the same thing over and over again, day after day. But he made his point. A few weeks ago, I happened to, by mistake, end up listening to a bit of a show, and he acknowledged that he gets criticism for repeating the same thing over and over again, day after day. But also, what you have to admit is that sometimes people don't get it the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time. And he may get a listener who's coming in for the first time, the very first time. He still has first-time listeners, and he has to make sure that they know. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the violent left, and I've actually done videos entitled The Violent Left. But as I was going through my video arcade or archive, I came up with some things, or at least one video, one compilation that caught my attention and said, hey, Willie, you got to remind people who these people are. This is why all the debate is over. What I'm going to show you now, please hang on to the end of the video. End of the video, give me some more time here. What I'm going to show you pretty much ends all the debate about who's violent and who needs to be out of power. It's going to end all of that. And it'll be something that you can use, something that you can share with your friends and encourage them to make sure that we vote, that we make sure that we vote. We make sure that we work at the polls. We make sure that we work behind the scenes in counting votes, that we make sure that we are deep into the process, to make sure that the election isn't stolen, to make sure that these peculiarities, these weird things that happen don't happen, right? That's super important. Why? Because it's about what I'm about to show you. Some of it's hard to get through. Some of it will anger you, and I don't want it to anger you. I want it to inform you. I want it to remind you of who we're talking about. For so long, we thought that, well, you know, we're all a bunch of people who are passionate about America, and we really believe in the same thing. We just have different ways to get there. No, it's a hard reality when you find out that that's not the truth. It's simply not the truth. And right now, a lot of us are caught up with Kamala Harris and kind of how funny it is that Kamala Harris is their choice, and she seems, at the very least, incapable, but and sort of pitiful in the same way. All of that's a distraction. I need to get you back to who these people really are. So watch the next few minutes of video, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to wrap this up. And the fact of the matter is, at this point, the debate is over. I'm calling the question.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick them.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face.
I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought
an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Game, set, match. Game, set, match. That's who these people are. All the sugar they try to spread over that poop, it's still poop. It's still poop. That's who these people are. This is why Donald Trump or not, these people cannot remain in office. And they can't remain in office, as we saw, at every level. From the federal level, the state level, the local level. These people who have this sort of hate, you can't call it anything else. I mean, hate almost seems like it's not a strong enough word. But there's an evil here. There is an underlying evil here that must be rooted out. That must be rooted out. If they don't want this, I mean, and it's starting to work, and it's starting to work like this. If they are this worried about, upset about this one dude, there must be a reason. I've always told you this, since, if you've been listening to me since 2008, when I started this journey, is that the left always tells you what they're afraid of, what they're worried about. They always tell you. They usually tell you in no uncertain terms. So when a member of the leftist press gets on television and goes that somebody needs to put a bullet in this dude, you know what I'm saying? When they come out and just say the quiet part out loud like this, I mean, it's little wonder, no wonder, zero wonder why these things are happening. This is why the debate is over. There's no debating. There's none of that anymore. This is what it is. This is who these people are, and they need to be at home. They need to be out of office. They need to be out of power. They need to be off of television. They need to be out of our lives. And the first step is making sure that Kamala Harris does not become the president of the United States, and that Donald Trump becomes the president of the United States. There's no debate. There's no, well, he won't go to the second debate because he's afraid of her, because she is strong. No. He need not debate her again. There needs to be no debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Schultz and Tim Walz. Not necessary. You've seen just now everything that you need to see. I often used to say, I don't know what else you need to see. I don't know what else you need to know. But you just saw it. My name is Willie Lawson. This has been The Morning Report. Morning Report is a production of FightBackMedia.com, 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 and my FightBackMediaTV.com. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.